So, someone asked in the comments, I don't need mid level or senior level QA salaries. Let's talk about entry level. I want junior level salaries breakdown. All right, let's do that. So, if we're going to take a look at a couple of responses, so I'm going to take a look at ChatGPT response and then take a look at Glassdoor and LinkedIn and see the entry level software quality assurance salaries in the United States. Okay, so I essentially just posted a question that was asked in the comments, and here it is. I'm not interested in manager or senior QA positions. I want to know what is the average for entry level software quality assurance. So I added median and by state. So the median salary for entry level software quality assurance position in the United States is around 55K per year, according to the data from various salary websites such as Glassdoor, PayScale, and Indeed. However, this can vary depending on a variety of factors such as location, company size, industry, and specific job responsibilities. Here's a breakdown of median SQS salary by state according from the data from Indeed. So the lowest one here would be under 50K, so 49K in Wyoming, 47K South Dakota, 48K Montana, 48 Mississippi, 49 Kentucky. Um, that would be like the lowest, right? And then the highest are actually closer to like 65K. So New York 65K, Washington 63K, New Jersey 63K, Maryland 62, Massachusetts 63, Hawaii 61K, Connecticut 61, and California 69. So California is the top pair because I mean California is the most expensive state to live in, and the taxes are almost one of the highest taxes in the country. So it makes sense. Let's see, actually, also Texas here, 56. Okay. Um, but if you work in QA, you don't have to work in a specific state. I mean, some opportunities are local, and that's totally fine. So you have to go into office and work in the office. A lot of the QA jobs are going to be very hands-on, so you'll have to move things around, like build setups, stuff like that. But a lot of those positions are actually remote, so you can be anywhere. You can be in Florida, and you will be working for a company that's actually in Silicon Valley, California. Um, Okay, so it is worth noting that these figures are median salaries, which means that represent midpoint of all reported salaries for entry-level SQA positions in each state. Actual salaries may vary depending on the individual company, job duties, and other factors. With all that taken in consideration, I would also think about, hey, salary is fine, but what about uh, insurance? Does the job provide insurance? What about opportunity to grow in the company? What are actually mid-level and senior level salaries in the same company? Aside from that, are there any stock options, right? Some would be granted when you just start a job and they will be vested over the years. And then some will be added in forms of like promotion yearly, they get more stocks added. A lot of people made money in Google, not because they have a good salary in Google, but when they joined, the Google was providing, given the stock options, more and more stock options throughout the years that people worked there. Even though their salary was median level for like Silicon Valley, let's say 120K, right? So like any other software company in Bay Area, the stock options that's what actually made the millions, right? Over the years, if you worked for Google like for 5, 6, 7, 10 plus years, just because of the stock price, you'd be making a lot more, right? So you have to consider those things if you're getting into the entry level position. Now let's go and take a look at some more data in Glassdoor and uh, LinkedIn. All right, so I'm gonna specifically apply entry level software quality assurance, United States seniority level. I am going to do entry level, so 384 positions. And let's narrow it down. I don't want to go and post it all the time for the open positions. Let's do last week. So we got a good selection, about 60 positions uh, posted for the last week for entry level for QA. Okay, so here's entry level quality assurance associate, 16 or 1850. So this is actually under the median. So this is 32K and going up to like almost 40K. Okay, so here is another one, also in Arizona, 2022. So this is 40 or like 44K a year, right? 2022 an hour, 44K a year. Another entry level, 16 to 17. Now, honestly, I would probably not apply to a QA position unless you're right out of college. That pays $18 an hour or $20 an hour, unless there is good opportunity to grow in the company. So let's say you're applying for a QA position that is in the gaming industry, right? In the gaming industry, $18 an hour is just for the entry is the norm, right? So you apply there, but will you actually grow? And is there opportunity to, let's say, make 60K in a year? Maybe not, right? So I would think any job that has or industry, because about QA jobs are all about the industry. You can work as a QA engineer in medical field. You can work as a QA engineer in car manufacturing. You can work as a QA engineer testing apps like WhatsApp or uh, TikTok. So it's all about the industry. So I would rather go into industry that from the starter starts paying you around 60K, because it's going to be a lot easier to scale up into positions that pay 80K, 100K, and 100 plus K. Because if you're going to start in the industry, and there's a bunch of jobs like that that pay 16, 17 an hour, you have to ask, what is the growth there? Like, what will be my next step? Is if you're paid as a junior, let's say 16, does it mean that they will pay you as a mid-level QA engineer somewhere around 50, 60K? But if you're a mid-level QA engineer, you already can get 80 plus, right? So I mean, you can try, if that's your first job, you can try and work there for a little bit, get some experience under the belt. If there's no hard interview and they hire you, fine. But I wouldn't stick for long at the job like that. Maybe half a year max, right? And then move to another industry that actually pays tax salaries. So that would be that median that Chat GPT is talking about. But at that point, you can already claim a mid-level QA position, or at least apply for mid-level QA positions. Granted, I mean, you have the experience now, right? Okay, so here's some other jobs. Entry-level software quality analyst. Okay, great. 45, 60K. So this is more like it. This is more like a mid-level. Um, it's in Georgia, right? All right. So somewhere in the middle, sit somewhere in the middle on the average for this position, 52K. Here's another one, entry level. Okay, entry level QA engineer at 38 to 54K. Now, was this new law in California where they have to post salaries? More and more companies, we have that law in Colorado and I think in New York now. So more and more companies actually try to put the salaries forward. So you can always tell, hey, you don't want to really go for the lowest number. You just want to bargain, saying, hey, I saw the median, so I'm gonna go with the market. Look at the market in the area. So if the market says 54K, and even though it's a top salary here on the job description, if the median for the region is 54K, you can say, I want to go for 54K. There's no problem. Here's another um, entry level. Okay, this is software engineer. Those pay a little bit more for entry level. Okay, quality assurance specialist. This is level 1, 42 to 61K. Uh, Also the starting open position, entry level. Okay, so that's Glassdoor. Let's go and check on LinkedIn. Let's do just software quality assurance, and then experience level. We'll keep it in the filter. So entry level, internship, associate. Okay, so in the past week in the United States, 552 jobs for entry level. Oh, that's in Texas, so not Texas. Let's do all across the United States. Okay, 6,500 jobs for software quality assurance entry level experience. Uh, hmm. Here's quality assurance technician, 16 to 19. Quality assurance analyst remote, 66 to 87. Specialist QA quality assurance, 18 an hour on site. Um, Manual QA analyst, 16 to 120K. QA and test engineer, 65 to 94K. Analyst, $30 an hour. So that's essentially like 60K with 401K benefits. QA analyst hybrid in New York starting was 100K a year. I mean, I think the data is accurate. So what does ChatGPT show? And it's pretty accurate. So here you go. This is the data for QA engineer or QA analyst or software quality assurance engineer for the entry level with the median around 65, 60K. There are some jobs that start $18 an hour, $20 an hour, entry level jobs as QA. But again, you need to look a little bit deeper in the opportunity to grow in that company. If there is ability to actually grow and next step up, let's say mid level is around 70K plus in this position, go ahead and try it. If it's just an entry level position for someone who is in college or out of college, and they're really not going to promote you or you can't really grow in that place, I wouldn't probably bother. I would find another job with a tax salary for an entry level around 55, 60K, right? Um, the amount of candidates and applications that you could like see 400, 6,000, and and other like insane amounts of applicants per job. I think a lot of those are just spam. When I've been hiring people and looking at resumes, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of resumes that are generated. They're essentially the same, just the name of a candidate is different. The description the same, the technology is used. So behind that, behind this resume, normal person doesn't really match the skill set when the conversation starts going through their resume and skills. So I wouldn't really bother if there are like 1,000 candidates on the position. I would just have a proper resume and send it and see if I can get through. Because I mean, spam is a problem, right? It's a big problem, and a lot of the resumes that are identical or the same just going to get thrown out. It doesn't matter if it's 1,000, 2,000 of them just going to get into spam. So the company will only pick like three, four, five candidates to go through, and those resumes have to be real. Like they have to look that they're authentic, created by a person, and not all the same. So okay, so hopefully that helps. Leave a like if you did like the video. This was Alex USA Days. Thanks for watching and bye.